listening to Ring Chronicles with Lance Vaughn and Glenn Ritchie.
All right, so I heard a new wrestling video game has come out.
Yes, WWE 2K24. I'm still writing notes. I've added something else that I thought about.
We're going to be doing a review of this game in the last part of this episode, so then that'll be ripped out and made its own video. So if anybody wants to go straight to the review, you can find that on our YouTube channel as well. All right, so any errors or omissions or anything from last episode?
I don't think so.
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and get into some Lariat of Hate. So how about we...
This is the Lariat of Hate.
Did we get some good Lariat of Hate this week?
Yeah, I guess. You know, a lot of our older videos are still getting views, which is great. So I'm going to read some, and this is from the fat wrestlers again.
I have a feeling that if any video goes viral, that one is eventually going to do it.
Yeah. I think
it's still
so.
Trailing. It's still getting views.
Yes. I think our best bet might be to do more opinionated videos.
Yeah,
because this gets people pissed off, which seems to work. Hang on. Actually, let me see if I can find exactly what the percentage is from likes and dislikes on that one video. Because it's got to be lower than the channel average. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about opinions is, everyone's got one like an asshole.
One, right?
Yeah. So, of course, you're going to ruffle some feathers when you start sharing opinions.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
And people are going to be like, well, who are you?
Right.
Who are you? Well, we're two guys on the internet with an opinion, and we just happen to have microphones.
Look, just go out and buy your own microphones. You can put up your own opinion.
Yeah. Hell, you don't even have to buy a microphone. You can just use your phone.
Yeah, right.
And make videos.
That's what TikTok is. It's people doing this shit.
Yeah,
and just talking to their phone. I just want to be more than that.
And giving it to the Chinese.
Yeah. Dude, there were so many people posting videos this week saying, hey, if TikTok gets banned, you can find me on YouTube. Okay, likes and dislikes. Okay, so our channel average is 92.9% likes over dislikes.
Oh, that's good to know.
On the Fat Wrestlers video, it's 89.6.
Oh, we got some extra dislikes for that video.
All right, so it's... people...
But that's good, though, because that means there was disagreement.
Yeah.
And people... Here's the thing that I don't understand about the Fat Wrestler video.
Okay.
They're bringing up, like, all these, like, old fat wrestlers.
Yes.
That never, like, won a major title.
Right.
And...
There's been several mentioning Jerry Blackwell, and I'm like, okay, what about him?
What about him? Yeah, he was big.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean...
I don't see how now another possibility, and this happens a lot on YouTube, is people will simply look at the title or maybe glance through the video and then comment on it without seeing the entire thing.
Yeah,
if you watch the entire thing, I don't see how it's not obvious that all of the picks on there were like major champions and left a big mark in the business.
Yeah.
Not like Jerry Blackwell, who, I mean, what did he do? So anyway, let me get to some comments here. This is from the Fat Wrestlers video. Again, someone who knows absolutely nothing about all-time wrestlers pretends he does. Number one, Jerry Blackwell. There, finish that for you.
Number one?
He put Jerry Blackwell.
Jerry Blackwell?
Yeah, number one.
Okay.
Number one. Would you put Jerry Blackwell over Yokozuna? I mean,
no.
If you just want to put, gigantic wrestlers, if you're a size queen and size is all that matters to you, then the Yokozuna is number one all time. No.
Okay, I get that Jerry Blackwell was, in the AWA.
Yeah.
And, he feuded with the, main event stars, but I'm looking in his championship accomplishments. Yeah. The only belt that he won in the AWA was the AWA World Tag Team Championship with Ken Patera. which, that still puts him in, wrestling history.
Right.
He won a major title in a major company, but I mean, gosh, who else hasn't done that?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I do not get the Jerry Blackwell love. I guess
that was like at least the second or third time somebody mentioned Jerry Blackwell. And actually in this next comment I'm about to mention, they mentioned Jerry Blackwell too. All right, so this next one says, my opinion, this wasn't researched beyond 1990. I wouldn't have Joe on the list, or Big Show, or Andre, or Bigelow, or necessarily Mick Foley. Replaced with Happy Humphrey, Giant Haystack, Loch Ness Monster, Akeem, also known as One Man Gang.
Akeem?
Yeah.
One Man Gang?
Yeah.
Over Andre the Giant?
Yeah. Uncle Elmer, Rusty Brooks, Tugboat, Mabel.
Tugboat and Mabel?
Tugboat and Mabel.
Mabel?
Hey, now wait, there's more. Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, God.
Possibly John Tenta. And, of course, Bastion Booger.
Bastion Booger.
And, yes.
Who did nothing.
And, yes, Jerry Blackwell.
Help. Jerry Blackwell. You're going to love Jerry Blackwell whether you like it or not.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Man. Somebody sent this to the Jerry Blackwell Appreciation Committee. and they got online.
Does Jerry Blackwell have a cult following or something?
He's got a cult following. That's the only thing that can explain that. Because he didn't do anything besides fight some main eventers and lose.
I mean, we've gotten too many comments mentioning Jerry Blackwell compared to how many total views that video has. So that kind of tells me that there's a shit ton of Jerry Blackwell lovers out there.
They're maybe I don't know. I can't explain that. I don't know what the deal behind that is.
I don't know. It's unprecedented Jerry Blackwell love.
Maybe we should make a Jerry Blackwell appreciation video to appease the Jerry Blackwell Appreciation Committee that we pissed off. Although I don't know what we'd put in it. He lost against a bunch of main eventers, and then quit wrestling.
Right. God damn. Okay, so Jerry Blackwell was from AWA.
Yeah, mostly.
I don't know. I don't know. Does AWA have a big cult following? If we talk shit about any main NWA talents,
forget AEW. Let's talk shit about the AWA.
I know. We're just gonna start shitting on AWA.
Let me tell you about Vern Gagne. What an asshole.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you about Nick Botwinkle. Overrated.
This is great. Oh my God. This is wonderful. Oh, and there was 2 comments to that comment. Guy said, yes, you do know that giant haystacks and Loch Ness were the same person, right? And then he said, yeah, yes, thank you. I did. Just fix my punctuation. Otis could stand to lose a few pounds as well.
Where are these fans coming from
that
know about these obscure fat wrestlers from 1970?
I don't know.
In 1960 and all this other crap.
Yeah. Look, he starts out that comment with, this wasn't researched beyond 1990, but how many fat wrestlers from before 1990 were, had the credentials that everybody on the list had.
Andre the Giant and Dusty Rhodes.
And that's it.
That's it. and it's maybe in fairness to some of these other guys, maybe it was because fat wrestlers maybe were treated differently in wrestling history. I don't know. I know, guys like Happy Humphreys were treated more like special attractions.
Right.
Like Andre the Giant
Right.
was treated as a special attraction.
Right.
You didn't have guys walking around as big as Happy Humphreys. And it was like watching My 600-Pound Life, but the guy could actually wrestle.
Right.
He can actually get in the ring and everything.
Right.
So I don't know. They love some Jerry Blackwell. I mean, they're into some Jerry Blackwell.
Maybe we stumbled onto something here. Maybe we can dig into this a little bit.
Yeah. There might be something more to this than we know.
Yeah, maybe we should do some research on this. Not necessarily on Jerry Blackwell, but Jerry Blackwell fandom.
Yeah. Cult fandom.
Yeah.
I mean, we awakened those guys.
Yeah, they're coming out in full force. Oh man, I hope it keeps getting views and we get more Jerry Blackwell comments.
Yeah, maybe we'll edit the video and put Jerry Blackwell in there as a special mention.
Just have a Jerry Blackwell segment on the show. We'll have the Lariat of Hate followed by Jerry Blackwell Love. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good. Jerry weekly. If it'll get people to actually listen, and subscribe, we will have a Jerry Blackwell weekly segment where we'll pick a random match of Jerry Blackwell's career and discuss it at length.
Yeah.
If it'll get some responses.
Oh man, that sounds like a great idea.
We hate our jobs. We'll do anything. We'll sell out if it'll get views.
Absolutely.
We're not above clickbait.
Oh, by the way, I think I mentioned this guy before. By the way, I think that's all for the Lariat of Hate. But I don't know if I mentioned Suplex Media before. He's a guy on TikTok. He also has a YouTube channel. He used to work for OVW. He was, I think he was the TV director for OVW a little while back. But yeah, he basically does just wrestling content now. And when all this stuff was coming out about, TikTok and, it might be banned and all that, he was one of the ones saying, go over to YouTube. And he sounded just like us. He says, I don't want to work. I just want to make wrestling content. Come on, guys. So we're not the only ones.
Please. That's all we want to do is make wrestling content. We don't want to go to work.
No.
Like a normal job. With doing stuff. We want to make wrestling content.
Yeah. We'll be productive members of society by making wrestling content.
Yeah.
So,
gosh, that guy must have got the same vibe and energy we got.
Yeah.
He's just.
Yeah. I mean, he might be a good guy to bring on the show. I really like the overall message that he has about wrestling, and he has inside information. He's actually been in the business. So he's the most legitimate talking head on the internet that I've seen. You know what I mean? So that's all for Lariat of Hate. We want to get into Revolution a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to school me because I have no idea what anything that happened.
Okay.
But, of course, there's really only one thing I care about.
Right. Yeah, so obviously Sting's last match. The biggest, backstage news or rumor or whatever that came out of that was that Sting actually wanted to put over the Young Bucks in that match. But he was the only one that wanted to do that. The Young Bucks and everybody else, Tony Khan wanted Sting to go over in that match, and he did. It sounded like everybody showed him the respect he deserved in his final match, and there were a lot of legends there. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was there.
Oh, wow.
He was I've never heard of this one. He was the special guest timekeeper So I guess they came up.
I
with
have
that.
heard of that. That's happened.
Special guest
before.
timekeeper?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that one.
They had a celebrity timekeeper at WrestleMania before. Either the first one or the second one. I can't remember. So that's not the first time that's happened.
Okay. So yeah, when they had him come down, they didn't have him sit like at the timekeeper's table. They had him sitting next to it so that he was within the barrier, so that he could get involved, and he did.
Oh, of course. And I bet he could still go.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's kind of like Sting in the way that he's taking care of himself, and he can still move a little bit.
Yeah.
But speaking of moving, the match was all over the place. Sting did 2 table spots in that match.
Good grief.
Yeah. And one of my favorite parts was the Young Bucks. I guess they parodied the Ric Flair retirement match with Shawn Michaels.
Oh.
You remember Shawn Michaels says, I'm sorry, I love you, before the super kick, before the sweet chin music? The Young Bucks go, we're not sorry, we hate you, and then super kick.
Oh, my God. So they made this like an actual grudge match.
Yeah. Well, they, it was. I think it was the best thing they could do, because it was kind of last second, because the thing with the Young Bucks started like maybe 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. So what they had to do, because it was the night that Sting and Darby won the tag titles, and his sons came in, and then the Bucks came in and attacked his sons, and beat the shit out of everybody. So they did a thing where they made it personal. He attacked his family. Sting said, nobody's ever attacked my family before. You made it personal. So I guess it was a quick way to make it a grudge match. But yeah, I mean, overall it was a pretty good match, except for I don't know. I guess it depends on what you like. But I don't know if you've seen the video, but Darby Allin took this crazy bump off a ladder through glass.
Oh my God.
Which flew up into the crowd like pieces of glass.
That doesn't sound safe.
No. They did this. So Sting goes under the ring and pulls out these sheets of glass, okay? And then they set up like 6 chairs like this, okay? And then they put the sheet of glass across the chairs. And then Darby gets up on a ladder in the ring and does a moonsault all the way to the floor through the glass. It shatters, and pieces of glass fly up into the audience. You see a woman. It was like where the entrance goes towards the ring, and then there's the barrier here. So you go around to the steps. She was like right there in that corner, and you can see her go like this, like getting the glass off of her.
I feel bad for whoever has to insure these people.
Yeah. And then Darby proceeded to he was completely sliced up. His back, Darby's back was it was bad. And then he spent almost the rest of the match laying there in the glass, and then he got up at the last second to save Sting, and then they ended up going over.
Huh?
But it was like I said, the match was all over the place. They retained the tag titles, and Darby, of course, they're starting a tournament now for the tag titles, and Darby came out and laid down the title, basically say good luck to anybody, good luck to the people in the tournament or whatever. But that was the main event, and I haven't looked. I don't know if we want to look now, but I could see Uncle Dave giving the Ospreay and Takeshita match is probably going to get another 7 stars from Uncle Dave.
Oh my God. I can't stand that stupid crap.
I haven't
5
looked.
stars should be the max. So you're going to tell me with a straight face this match is better than anything that Ric Flair and Steamboat ever did?
I'm not saying that. Uncle Dave is saying that.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was a good match. The thing is, they put that on right before Sting's match. So they made Sting follow that match. Yeah.
God.
But I mean, shit. You've had two wrestlers. Actually, I'm not sure if Takesh is one of them, but there's been several wrestlers choosing AEW over WWE lately. There's been a lot of news about that. I don't know if you've seen, but Okada came out and joined the tree. Okada was already in the treehouse, and he came out and joined the Bucks on Wednesday. But yeah. Anyway, getting off track. Tony Storm retained, which I guess I'll go ahead and play her media scrum, her segment from the media scrum, which was just beautiful. And I'm also going to go ahead and say that I think her gimmick is the best gimmick in wrestling right now. My opinion.
That's a lot.
My opinion, internet.
The best gimmick.
The best gimmick. Here is her segment from the media scrum from Revolution. Full kayfabe. You ready?
Yeah.
Journalism, I've prepared a statement of my own. That way you won't have to announce which website you work for as like a point of pride. So,
All right, I'm watching this for the first time.
excuse me. Good evening. I am still your AEW Women's World Champion. But I couldn't have done it without the following people. Thank you to the city of Greensboro for keeping the riffraff out of the hotel lobby.
For keeping the riffraff.
Best wishes and happy retirement to Sting. Seems like just yesterday we started on this journey together.
Oh my
Feel free to use my summer house in Martha's Vineyard.
Feel free to use my summer house.
I would like to thank my protege, Mariah May, for capturing the unpolished beauty of my youth. I see something in you. I don't know what it is, but I do. I am giving you full access to my old storage unit. Help yourself.
What? My old storage unit?
Of course. To my trusted servant Luther. Yes, I'll have a salmon nori roll, carbonated water, and Pepto-Bismol. Chop, chop. Thank you, dear.
Oh, my God. Pepto-Bismol.
Thank you to official Aubrey Edwards for making the right decision. But next time, please wear milder perfume, if you could. I have a bit of a headache. I would like to thank the commentators, Mr. Tasmaniac and Sean Excalibur
Mr.
Mooney,
Tasmaniac.
for their usual East Coast, West Coast analytical banter. And the utmost respect for my opponent and former friend Deanna Perrazzo. A great showing. A great showing. You took me to the limit. You brought out the best in me, and blah, 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 blah. I hope you go back to Impact.
Oh, my
Tell you what,
God.
my arms are killing me. I don't know how I'm going to do my usual debauchery tonight. I am going to have to open that gift bag that Karen Jarrett got for me. If you understand what I mean. And to you, Mr. Khan,
What?
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khan.
You're welcome.
Thank you for believing in someone who left a guaranteed spotlight for something new. Someone who isn't always perfect, isn't always kind, but who is always determined to do her best. Renee Paquette.
Thank you.
And as for what's next, Anthony, come on. Let's spoil your little surprise. Come on. I'm sick of alluding to her. Come on. I am sick of the cryptic hints, aren't we all? I don't care if it's a big business. I don't care if it's next week. Wendy Richter?
Oh, my
I am
God.
going to fuck you up. And to anyone else who wants my title, you can fuck off. There's a ranking system now and you can bloody well use it. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Tony's just like, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Excellent. Any questions from the media? Tread lightly.
And make it quick because if I don't leave soon, there's going to be piss all over the seat. So, if you could.
Lyrics when SNME Radio, you talked about the ranking system for your title. How do you feel about your protege's current ranking on those rankings, Mariah May?
I think she's doing just fine. She's doing great. I'm very proud, doing a great job, but she's not quite ready. So let's not confuse her with those kinds of questions. Okay.
Oh my God.
Anyone else? Questions?
Hi, Tony. So, as you alluded to before, Mariah May is obviously dressed as an older version of your character. So, was that your idea? Was that her idea?
Ideas. I said, didn't I? I said to Deanna, I would give her the old Tony Storm and so much more. And here it is. Look at her. Look at her. Fantastic. Anyone else?
Ideas come from so many places.
Yes.
Tony Stewmeyer from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Have you talked to Susan Tex Green lately?
No. Next question. Question? I believe we're done here this evening.
Thank you, champ.
Are we ready to get fucked up or what? Huh?
I wish. Thanks,
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Come here, bring it in, big man. I love you. I love you.
You know, it is most excellent. You know, at first I wasn't sure about that gimmick, but it grew on me.
Yeah.
And I still like it, even though I'm not a huge AEW mark by any means. But I don't know. I mean, that was certainly interesting to me.
Yeah.
It makes me want to see the next Tony Storm match.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I'm going to pay for a whole pay-per-view to do that. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how she came up with that, but she did. So yeah, do we want to get into the
WWE 2K24.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Our official game review.
Yeah.
Our first game review.
yeah, our first game review, okay? Because we didn't review that trash that was AEW. What's the name of the game?
Fight Forever.
Fight Forever.
Fight Forever.
Okay.
Season 3 is out now, by the way.
Oh, season 3 is out. That's good to know.
So everybody can go and pick that up right away.
Actually, I don't know if it was trash or not. I didn't even buy the game. I just
Yeah.
knew better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So WWE 2K24. I originally intended this to be 10 things that I loved and 10 things that I hated about the game.
Right.
It wound up being 12 things that I loved and 16 things that I hated. While it's obviously more than 12, these 16 things may not be more in intensity than the 12 that I loved.
Okay.
So I would say there's things I really like about the game and there's things I really don't like about the game.
Yeah.
And some of these things are more important than others. But just because I could think of 16 things that bug me does not mean that those 12 things that I liked are ranked less as a whole than the 16 that I didn't like.
Right.
I'm just listing things. And it's a lot easier to think about things you don't like, by the way. Number 1, less universe mode bugs. So
Okay.
universe mode is the mode that I play in the most. Okay. So Lance has never played the games, and you know we might have some listeners never play the games.
This is really the first wrestling game I've played since SmackDown 3 on PS2 like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So I'm pretty new to wrestling games. You'll probably have to educate me a little bit on each mode of the game. Universe mode is where you basically book your own shows, right?
Yeah, you book your own shows, and you can do like the AI does who wins and loses, or you can pick and choose yourself who wins and loses, or you can play the matches.
Okay.
So also the AI will automatically book stuff for you, and it books it in accordance to whatever division you place the wrestlers in.
Okay.
And you can make anything. You can make AEW Dynamite and put it on Wednesday.
Okay.
You can do a Lucha Libre whole thing for the universe mode. You could do old school WCW in the 1990s.
Nice.
You could do 80s era WWE. You could make Jerry Blackwell and
Oh, I'm so making Jerry Blackwell now.
You can make Jerry Blackwell and reform the AWA in this if
Actually,
you wanted to.
I'll go ahead and say I'm not good at that shit. So if somebody out there would please create Jerry Blackwell that knows what they're doing, and I'll download it.
He might be in WWE 2K23. I doubt he's already in 2K24, but he might be in 2K23.
Well, I went ahead and looked at the available downloads, and there's hardly anything good there.
No, there's not.
I looked at the MJF that was available. It was awful.
Yeah.
It didn't look anything like
you
MJF.
have to give Iconic and What's the Status time
right
to do their work.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
you got to think about it. Each wrestler takes probably
hours,
a
and
week.
hours. Yes,
at least.
Yeah.
And these people probably have jobs.
yeah.
That they do. You know, they're probably like us. They probably wish they could just quit their jobs and make creator wrestlers on 2K video games.
Oh, okay, so what's their usernames?
What's the status?
Okay.
But he's got several accounts because he makes so many different wrestlers.
Okay.
So because there's a limit of how many you can upload.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, so he has he's so prolific that he has to create multiple. But if you just go on that first page of like most downloaded, you'll see what's the status.
Okay.
Just don't search his username and don't search the name with the numbers because he may have more than one account.
Okay.
If you just search what's the status, no apostrophe or any of that kind of stuff, you can find the best, in my opinion, the best maker of content, creator wrestler content. And he tends to specialize in making alternative attires and making bringing up wrestlers that are in the game that are not meant to be in the game. Like I'm waiting to see if he'll find Brock Lesnar, and find a way to get him in the game. Stuff like that, you know, because even though I'm not, Brock Lesnar's on the blacklist, I still would like to play him for historical purposes.
Right.
So I'm okay with Vince not being in the game.
Yeah.
That I'm 100% okay with.
My understanding is that they're somehow trying to block people from creating those two characters.
Well, the Brock Lesnar's on there right now. He looks terrible. Whoever made him, it looks.
Yeah, I guess they failed at that. Maybe they were only talking about Vince, but I don't know. I'm assuming somebody made Vince too. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're probably censoring stuff pretty heavily right now.
Right.
There's no Janelle Grant.
Yeah.
There's somebody brought that up and it made me think about it, and I wanted to see if there was that, out of curiosity, and there wasn't. There's no controversy right now aside from Brock Lesnar. I don't know if Vince McMahon's in the game or not as far as a creator wrestler. I don't know, but going back to it, universe mode, you can create anything with the creator wrestlers. You can create your own arenas. Or download arenas, and I'm sure at some point they'll have an AEW arena if they don't already. The first thing that I do when I get a new WWE 2K game is I open up universe mode and I fast forward an entire year and automate the whole year just to see what happens.
Okay.
And that tells me how messed up it is.
Okay.
Because it's every year it's messed up. Okay.
Okay.
This year, I went a whole year. No tag teams were broken up or made out of nothing. I turned off tag teams forming, rivalries, automatic rivalries. I turned off wrestlers changing heel and face. Okay, all that stuff's supposed to work. It hasn't worked in years. Okay, this year.
So what doesn't work about it? Turning heel and face.
So what happens with that is in universe mode, if you automate things, like say you want to skip to the next pay-per-view, there's a chance that the game will automatically flip. This is where I'm going to talk more about this on the hate side. But I guess I need to address it now. There's a chance that it'll flip one of your characters or multiple of your characters from heel to face or face to heel.
Like all at once.
Yeah, when you automate like a whole month ahead.
Right.
I don't know how bad it is in this game, but I did see it because Bray Wyatt's most modern character is supposed to be a face. Yeah. And I automated it and it turned him into a heel. Also made him the champion, which, you expect that titles to change when you fast forward a whole year. Right. I don't want that to turn off, but he shouldn't have turned. I had the setting turned off. He shouldn't have turned heel.
But he did.
Okay.
All right.
But thankfully, and this is the thing that's probably the most annoying, is I didn't see any new tag teams formed because they'll bring like 2 random wrestlers. You'll have like the Miz and Hulk Hogan teaming together.
Right.
I mean, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And none broken apart because tag teams are one of the most aggravating things to create or whatever. So they didn't do that to the tag teams. From what I've heard from Beach Bites, managers are not bugged in universe mode this year. I haven't seen it for myself. I've been too busy making creative wrestlers over again.
Right.
And I'll get into that and the things I hate. But so far, when I skipped a whole entire year, the only thing that changed were some wrestlers' alignment, with as a heel or a face.
Yeah.
And there were 2 rivalries that happened that shouldn't have happened because I had rivalries turned off. So there were 2 rivalries. And I did this twice.
Yeah.
No tag teams were lost. Same thing. There were 2 rivalries in a year. And some wrestlers had their alignment from heel to face to heel changed. Okay. A lot less buggy than what happened in the past years. Where like last year you would have tag teams forming and breaking apart.
Yeah.
You'd have Bailey teaming with freaking Natalia and breaking out of the the stable she's in, and you'd had like just craziness happening.
Right.
Okay. A lot fewer bugs in universe mode. It's not completely fixed. It's not fixed, and I'll explain what's wrong with it still.
Okay.
But it's better than it was last year, okay?
Right.
Which is good because for me, universe mode is my preferred method to play. I like the sandbox style. I like, making my own belt and giving it to a guy and having him defend it at different pay-per-views and having special events and stuff like that and booking things in my head as far as feuds and having a wrestler lose a belt and then re-challenge the guy the next pay-per-view or having a surprise victory on Raw randomly. Things like that.
Right,
I love that crap.
Right.
I love it. Making my own universe that has like AEW stars randomly in it, but just because I want to. I can do that.
Right.
So I love universe mode.
One question about universe mode. So when you're creating all this, does it happen under all of it happen under the WWE banner, or can you create like your own fed?
You can create your own fed.
So you can just name it anything.
You can name it anything.
Nice.
You can have you could delete Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and put on Dynamite, because it's not named anything. It's just universe mode.
Okay.
Slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, and so you save slot 1, and you put on Dynamite, and you put on Collision, and you put on the other one, and have AEW pay-per-views downloaded. Which they'll eventually have all those downloaded because that's.
But you can name your own pay-per-views.
You can make up the whole thing. You can make up the whole thing. You can call this backyard.
Yes. Oh man. And Glenn. I kind of hate you right now. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I hate you because I'm going to spend hours making the guy that likes Vince Russo's backyard.
Yeah. I mean, you can make all the wrestlers from the UWA.
Can you put in a trampoline instead of a ring?
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. The only thing that you could do is edit the siding of the ring with a trampoline image.
Okay, so you can upload your own images.
You can upload your own images. Yes.
Oh my God.
You can have fan signs of your ass being held up in the air and stuff.
You see, this is the proper way to sell a video game. I didn't know this. I didn't know it was this and that. Okay.
Yeah, you can have your ass on the Titantron. I mean, it's all possible. Just please don't make it public if you do that.
Wait, what happens if you make it public?
I'll see it because I'll be searching for images and it'll pop up.
Well, what's wrong with that?
And I'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, you can upload your own images and make your own arena. And you'll have that happen. A lot of the people make AEW stuff because it's not already in the game.
It's the forbidden door.
It's the forbidden door. And then also any pay-per-views that weren't in the game, like Crown Jewel, usually gets thrown in.
Yeah.
So
Crown Jewel's not in the game?
Usually they're not.
Really?
Every year it has not been. Or like the Greatest Royal Rumble, like all the Saudi Arabia stuff for some reason.
Really?
It's not. I guess because they don't have like, Saudi royal family sitting on the front row, like in reality, or maybe they'll be offended by it or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe there might be some kind of rule about that or something. But you can download.
Yeah.
You can download Crown Jewel and have a Crown Jewel pay-per-view.
Okay.
I mean, who knows why you can't do it, but
yeah,
you can do Crown Jewel, and you can if it's made already. I know in 2K23 it was made. You saw how good the wrestlers looked in 2K23.
Yeah.
So
I did play 23 because it was on sale right before 24 came out.
So you're going to expect the same quality of created content in this game too. It's just going to take it. The crappy stuff gets made first because these guys have only spent like 2 or 3 days making Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Looks terrible.
Yeah.
Eventually, somebody will come along that's better, that'll make a better Brock Lesnar, and that'll take the place of that one.
Right.
There have been a few wrestlers that look great. The CM Punk that's up right now looks great.
CM Punk's not in the game.
Not
by
yet.
default.
He'll be DLC.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then Kairi Sane, who will be DLC. She looks great in the game. The one that I have up so far. But CM Punk will be in the game, but he's a DLC.
Okay.
And that's just because he came in so late in the process of development.
Right.
Kairi Sane came in very late too. So she's going to be DLC.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, there's some NXT talent that didn't quite make the cut that got cut out pretty quickly. Another thing that I like, the crowd taunts have improved. So, like, just random people you would hear breaking through saying, "I hate you," and stuff like that.
Right.
Like it adds up more realism to the game. And it's a small touch that unless you played like WWE 2K23 for like 400 hours, like I probably did, most people wouldn't even notice this.
Okay.
But it was a nice little touch to add these extra taunts to the game for added realism.
Okay.
So it really, especially it's like for your heel, it makes them look like they're really despised by the crowd. Like they're walking to the ring and then these people just hate this guy. You can also do a mixed balance reaction too. Camera angles in the match have improved. This is another thing that I don't think a lot of people would notice unless they played the previous games very heavily. But I love that the camera angles it was choosing during the match, like during the pin and stuff like that. Like I remember one time I was pinning a guy and like, I could see that my shoulders were or his shoulders were on the mat firmly. And, it was like I was in the referee's position.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I got to add one more, 13. No porn images. So far, when I've looked up images.
Okay,
now let me explain that to you.
Okay, what the hell?
So,
thank God WWE didn't put porn images this time.
So, this was a big problem that I had with previous games, most especially 2K23. I noticed it the most.
Okay.
People would just upload random porn images.
Okay.
I guess for their
Where
arenas.
do the images go? So I'm guessing there's an image library you can choose from.
There's an image library you can choose from.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you go to like most recent images back then in 2K23, and it was almost always like, how do I say this like without being offensive? Large posteriors of women.
Okay.
Nude.
Okay.
I'm a guy. I don't care, but like there's kids that play the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I read people because I was kind of curious. Like, has anybody noticed this? And so I looked it up, and like there were like a lot of dads that were wanting to play this game with their kids.
Yeah.
And they were scared to let them play it because they could just randomly
come across that.
Yeah. Now you could report the images, and I reported a lot, but a random kid playing the game,
Right.
here's a big booty in their face,
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know why it's always that. It's always that. There was no diversity of images. It was only that. I don't understand that. Not that I want a diverse porn images in my wrestling game, but but I was trying to figure out who in the world likes this and why are they making it where everybody else has to see it?
Does it show the username of the person that uploaded it?
Yes. And I'm hoping they get banned when they get reported. I don't know what happened to them. Well, now when I've gone into WWE 2K24, I'm hoping it's because I'm hoping it's not that it's being drowned out by newer images from people making content. I'm hoping that they're doing a better job censoring this stuff or have some better software that can censor this stuff before it gets uploaded.
Right.
To me, it seems like with all the AI, I can talk to like somebody in fluent Klingon right now with AI website.
Yeah.
With stuff like that, there should be some sort of ability to censor out big booties.
Right.
There should be something that can recognize, oh, this is a large butt.
Yeah.
That is uncovered.
Right.
We should censor it. Now, okay, women in bikinis, stuff like that, I don't care about. The game I think is rated teen anyways.
Yeah.
So it should have any content that's good for it's got blood in the game.
Yeah.
It's got violence. I think it's rated teen.
It is.
Any content in the game that's made appropriate for teenagers, which a woman in a bikini, in my opinion, is appropriate for a teenager. I'm okay with that. And they could have a legitimate reason for having that image. Maybe their wrestler looks like that.
Right.
Because you can make a woman in a bikini wrestle if you wanted to. But you shouldn't have porn images in a wrestling game. It's just, that should just not happen. This was something that surprised me. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, right? Post Malone or something like that.
Post Malone, yeah. I know you're talking
What kind of
about.
name is that anyway?
I don't know what kind of name that is.
That is a dumb name. Well, anyways, I was nervous about this because he's a rapper.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like the West Texas redneck saying what rap is crap in that right now. But I don't like most modern rap.
Right.
Okay. Post Malone curated the music for this video game. And in Lance, hold on with me.
Okay.
It's actually got the best screen menu music selection of any wrestling game I've ever played.
Okay.
I mean, he's got like bluegrass. He's got all kinds of stuff in there.
I still turned it all off and just turned on the entrances.
I do have a lot of the entrance music playing. Some of the entrance music.
It just makes sense to me. Like, why would you even bother bringing in third-party music into a wrestling game? Because wrestling already has its own music. Why wouldn't you just play that? Because they're having to license these songs out to have them in the game.
I don't know. I thought the music was good personally.
Now I'll go on about that a little bit. One thing that changed from the PS5 to the PS4 is that you can't play your own music in game anymore. You could do that with the PS4. You can't do it with the PS5.
Are you sure about that?
I am very sure about that. You can
because I've done it with Spotify.
You can do it with Spotify, but that's like random.
No. Well, I have a subscription to Spotify. So
Okay.
I can,
well, no. You can actually upload your own music and just have that play over the in-game music.
Oh.
Yeah. So now all you can do is, you can do that. You can play Spotify, but most people, you have a subscription, but yeah, so basically you can play the radio over it, but you can't play your own curated music for most people.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah.
But the music for the game is better.
Okay.
New matches, Gauntlet, Casket, Ambulance. I love having new matches. It's one of the things that really makes WWE 2K games a lot better than its competitor, AEW Fight Forever, which has very few game or match types.
Right.
You could do a barbed wire exploding thing.
Yeah.
But after that, that's it.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
So many match choices you can do. You can make your own matches. You could do an elimination 5-man elimination first blood match.
Okay.
You can do a multi-man elimination table match.
Okay.
You could do an Iron Man table match.
Okay.
Where the person who throws the other person through the most tables wins.
Right.
And there's just breakage. But yeah, Gauntlet, that's been requested for a long time. Casket and ambulance matches are now included in the video game. I noticed there's a lot more double championship stuff.
Like, what do you mean?
Poses, animations. When you're doing a creator wrestler, you can choose different entrances, victories, and stuff like that with 2 championships.
Okay.
It's not like AEW Fight Forever where you can come out like wearing 5 belts. But you got more but if that's indie wrestling bullshit anyways. You're coming out with 5 belts from 5 different companies.
Yeah.
You don't do that in WWE.
So you can't do belt collecting.
Yeah, you can't do that. The WWE, you can only have 2 belts.
Okay.
Tag team matches have changed, okay?
Now, that's one game mode I haven't played yet. I haven't done a tag match.
It's so much better now.
Okay.
2K22 and 2K23, the tag matches were just god-awful to me. The reason why the person you're pinning, the AI, would almost always interfere in the pin attempt or the submission attempt. Okay. And now back in 2K20 or 2K19, this was solvable by just dragging your opponent to closer to your corner, and pinning them there, and that would give your guy enough time or your gal enough time to also interfere and stop them from stopping the account.
Okay.
But in 2K22 and 2K23, they say we're not going to allow that.
Right.
We're going to make it where the AI is fast as lightning and teleports across the ring and interrupts your freaking count. Okay.
Right.
Well, they've changed that. So now what happens? And I'm assuming this happens to you too, if you're unlucky and getting pinned.
Okay.
When a wrestler interferes with the pin attempt and they enter the ring illegally, they are applied a debuff, which will not allow them to re-enter the ring until they're tagged again. Let's say I'm fighting against Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor, and I want to pin Dominic Mysterio. Easier way of dealing with this is to just do a pin of Dominic Mysterio, let the guy interfere. He's got the debuff. Now I'm going to apply my finisher, and now I'm going to pin him for real.
Okay.
And I don't have to knock him off the daggum apron.
That's what I was about to suggest. Can you just do that?
You can do that.
Okay.
And that is not that bad. You had to do that.
Yeah.
You had to do that. That was the only way that you could pin in 2K22 or 2K23. But what happens if you got a Survivor Series traditional match and you got freaking 4 guys? Are you going to knock all 4 guys off the daggum apron and then pin the guy? I honestly completely stayed away from those matches because they would go on for eternity. Like, people have asked, like, does Tetris go on forever if you just played it forever? And they found out statistically, no, it would eventually end because it'd be a point where you have too many S and Z pieces it'll kill you. Okay. No, and this match would go on forever. You would be in this Survivor Series match till the day you died. You would be like one of those people that have actually died playing video games, killing over with a stroke from a blood clot that formed in your legs from not moving for days. So, yeah, to kill over dead, you'd be dead, match will still be going on. Okay, they changed that. Debuff. So when those guys enter the ring or those gals enter the ring, that's it. They're done. They can't come back out unless they get tagged in. Then if they get tagged in and then go back tagged out, then they can re-enter the ring again. But not until they do that. So they fixed it, folks. And I'm so thankful. So you've got 3 options here. You can try to initiate that debuff and then try to finish the match, or you can do what you had to do in past games, which is knock them off the thing.
Okay.
Although I don't know, I haven't tried it out yet to see if knocking them off would still stun them automatically. I'm assuming it would. Another thing I like, same controls, except for I don't like the combos. I'll talk about that in the part that I hate. Okay. I don't want to learn like a new game controls.
Right.
Just give me the old game controls that worked. When they made the transition from 2K19 to 2K22, and they entered in all this new stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I don't want to like do a rolling dodge.
Right.
I mean, why? Who does that? Like this ain't Mortal Kombat. I'm not trying to uppercut someone through the roof of the arena.
Right.
Okay. We don't need combos. We don't need dodges. This isn't Dark Souls or some crap. We just want to play a wrestling game that's got wrestling holds and wrestling moves.
Yeah.
No Dark Souls crap. We ain't got a sword. So why are we rolling around like an idiot? Okay. I'm supposed to be on the part that I like.
Okay.
But same controls. I like keeping the same controls because at least I know what I'm doing. Number 10, the things that I like. WrestleMania Showcase. So far has been good. I've seen a lot of complaints about it, but I mean, I don't see why people would gripe about going back to WrestleMania 3 and fighting, with Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah,
with George the Animal Steel and Miss Elizabeth present.
It's probably kids complaining about that. They probably think wrestling started when they were born.
Yeah, 2005. Shoot, actually 2005, they'd be 19. I ain't even a kid. We're old, Lance.
God damn. I enjoyed it too. I mean, I've played, I don't know, 3 or 4 matches in that, 5 matches maybe.
You can always tell my age by knowing what year of WrestleMania it is. I turned 40 this year.
Oh, okay.
It's WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
Yeah. My age and WrestleMania numbers coincide.
Okay.
So for the rest of my life, I'll be able to think back and say, okay, well, I was 16 years old, 17. Yeah, WrestleMania 17. And that was when I saw, that's all I got to do is think about how old I was. Load times, at least on the PS5, are awesome on this game.
Okay.
So that is great. I love the load times. The load times on the PS5 are much better than they were in 2K23. Special guest referee. That's an awesome addition.
Oh, that's new.
That is new.
Okay.
Kind of. Because wrestling games have had special guest referees in the past.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk more about that later too.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Special guest referee. We should be able to do that. We should have been able to do that. We're doing it now at least. I know we're past 10, so, and then this is the last one for what I love. Keeping what works, okay?
Okay.
We're not trying to do some arcadey AEW nonsense where it's like a 1-minute match. We're doing good old-fashioned wrestling simulation.
Yeah.
Where we're simulating what we see on TV, which is what wrestling games should be about. We're not trying to revive some relic from the Nintendo 64 that might have been fun whenever we didn't have wrestling simulation games and we didn't know anything better in life, and so we're playing this like archaic block thing. There's some games you should leave alone, like Final Fantasy VII. You should leave that alone.
Careful now. I know you can go on for hours about this.
Yeah. I might hijack the whole thing. Okay. But wrestling games should not stay the same. They should be updated based off of the technology of our time.
Yeah.
And what developers can do. All right. Things I hate. Now this one is a small gripe.
Okay.
Because I don't realistically expect them to actually do this.
Okay.
I don't know what this would involve for them to do this. So this would probably involve a lot of work.
Okay.
I wish you could import your creator wrestlers from previous games into newer games. They use almost all of the same dadgum outfit materials and textures and all that.
Okay.
Why can't you do that?
I have a little bit of experience in other games in this. So, for example, there's a baseball game called MLB The Show. And they haven't had this feature for a couple of years, but there's a mode in it called Road to the Show. And what you do is you create a player, and you play as only that player starting in the minor leagues, and you just try to move up the ranks to get to the major leagues and have a major league career. So I know from 19 to 20, you could import your character, for your player from the previous game. So this is possible.
Okay, then why aren't we doing it?
Yeah.
That way we don't have to wait 6 weeks for that Chris Benoit creator wrestler we want to download. We can do it now.
Yeah. I don't know anything about this particular game. I don't know if there's something about the game that actually prevent them from doing that.
By the way, I've never actually downloaded Chris Benoit on any of these games.
Okay.
I was using that as an example.
Yeah.
The minor gripe here, I wish you could set the difficulty anywhere. Like you don't have to go all the way out into the main menu into options to set the difficulty. I wish like in the middle of like universe mode for an individual match, I could just like flip the difficulty to something. Because like, I mean, to me, like when you're playing on like the harder difficulties, it's a very steep dive when you go from like a one-on-one match, like say between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, and then now you're in an 8-man ladder match. Okay. Because, you know, statistically, if we were to go one-on-one with Roman Reigns, we'd have a 66 2/3% chance of winning. But in an 8-man, it's like you don't even have 1/8 of a percent chance of winning.
Okay.
Because the game is a freak.
Oh, man.
All right. So I want to be able to change difficulty from anywhere. User friendly. Okay. 3, there are still universe bugs. Like, what in the heck?
Okay. Like what?
Well, and I'm getting into this. The rivalry system. They initiated this in 2K23, and they're so proud of it. It sucks. It sucks. I do not use the rivalry system. It's repetitive, it's buggy, and it's causing, according to a conversation I had with a support person, it's what's causing a lot of these other bugs, like changing from heel to face, stuff like that.
Okay.
Because even when you turn automatic rivalries off, it will still have, at least now they won't have rivalries aside from maybe 1 or 2 a year to show up anyway.
Right.
But they still have rivalry actions. And these rivalry actions can flip a person's alignment from heel to face and face to heel. Okay. I don't like that crap. I don't want that crap. Stop. I don't want it. Don't. In 2K23, I tried to get into the rivalry system. Most of it is just the same match week after week after week with just different cutscenes. Okay, that's not how rivalry actually works in wrestling.
Right.
You know what happens in wrestling? The person that's in the rivalry interferes in their match or talks trash with the promo or does a backstage assault. There's things like that lead to a rivalry. And yes, they do have some of those kind of cutscenes in the rivalry system, but they're outnumbered greatly by this other crap, okay? I wish they would take the whole rivalry system out of the game. It pollutes the universe mode. It causes these bugs or alignment changes, and it also changes the wrestlers. This is another thing I hate about the freaking rivalry system. It changes their personality stats, okay? And I think that's what causes the alignment shifts because, you know, if a wrestler does a bunch of cowardly acts, they're turning heel. So, the rivalry system is broken. If you want
You're all juiced up, man.
Yeah.
Calm down.
If you want to fix universe mode for rivalries, you have to go through this huge process that Beach Bites has video for. Okay. And what you have to do, listen to this, guys. Go to Beach Bites video if you want to actually learn how to do this correctly. I may get this off. But from my understanding, to fix universe mode, you have to go in and delete all the pay-per-views and then go in and create a show on Wednesday that has 10 wrestlers in it with Warden World Champion, delete Raw, delete SmackDown, delete NXT, and then go into the roster for 200 wrestlers and delete every single enemy that's listed on the profiles of every single wrestler. And then, and only then, can you then create the pay-per-views, which for SmackDown and Raw are on the last pay-per-view Saturday slot of the month, and NXT on the third pay-per-view slot of the month. And so after you do all this work, then the rivalry system will work. Why do players have to do all that to get a feature that they paid for in a game to work properly?
Yeah, they need to fix that shit.
They haven't fixed it in years. They copy and paste the same
exactly
universe mode from previous years with the same bugs.
Yep.
The same exact bugs. And they don't fix them. Yep. They're aware of them. I know they're aware of them because I've sent in bug reports. Now, obviously, they've gotten better because the bugs are not as bad this year as they've been in the past. Based off of my example of fast forwarding twice a whole year and only having relatively for me to jump a whole entire year and still keep all my tag teams and all that, that's a miracle compared to what we had to deal in the past. But I have to decide. I've got two ways that I could go about universe mode because I mostly play on pay-per-views anyway. I got two things I can do. I can either go through each show and just delete every rivalry action match so that it doesn't mess up my wrestler alignments. Or before the pay-per-view starts, I can go into the roster and check 200 wrestlers to make sure that their alignments are correct still before we start the pay-per-view. So which one do I, which waste of time, which freaking waste of time do I want to spend the bare minimum of time that I have because I still have to go to work and I can't get paid to make wrestling content? Which thing do I want to waste that ounce of time the most on? Do I want to waste it on deleting rivalry matches for 4 weeks straight, or do I want to waste it checking the alignments in the roster for a whole friggin' hour before the pay-per-view? Which one do I want to do with my precious time that I have where I'm not working and I have to work so I can't make quality wrestling content? Which one do I want to waste my time on the most between those two options? That's the choices I got, Lance.
Yep.
If I want to play the game how I want it to play, it's supposed to be sandbox mode. It's supposed to do what I tell it to do. It's supposed to do exactly what I tell it to do. It's supposed to work to take in the inputs that I put in. When I go into the options and I say, you know what, I don't want heels to turn face and I don't want faces to turn heel automatically. By God, that's what it should do. I paid $100 for this game, or $100 plus. I bought all the WrestleMania bull crap and the DLCs and all that crap. Everything's paid for. So why do I got to go in and fix it? And even when I do Beach Bites crap, that's not going to fix it all. I bet there's still going to be some bugs, some alignment shifts. It's not going to turn off rivalry actions. I guess what I could do is do Beach Bite stuff and then do rivalries. He says it'll work. Have to. Thank you, Beach Bites, for having your thing. I didn't try it in 2K23. I went ahead and started making my universe, and I got too deep into it before I saw your thing. I'm strongly considering trying it for 2K24, but you shouldn't have to. I'm glad you're making quality wrestling gaming content. I hope you don't have to work, and you have time to figure this stuff out. And you're not like the rest of us having to work and then spend what little time we have fixing a game that we shouldn't have to be fixing because we're not developers. You know what I figured out? There's this bug. I'm skipping ahead again. There's this bug on my created wrestlers where they would come out to the ring, and of course, I did a backyard character of mine.
We're gonna have to bleep that out
of the Idol.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bleep
The guy that likes Vince Russo in his backyard. I did the Idol, who I wrestled as.
Right.
It's basically me, but like in shape. I also make a fat version of myself too. There's like an in shape version of me, and there's a fat version of me. An in shape version's like a technical wrestler.
Is it like young Glenn and middle aged Glenn?
Yeah, yeah. The middle aged Glenn's like he's a power wrestler.
Okay.
He doesn't.
Is he like Jerry Blackwell?
He's like Jerry Blackwell. So I made the Idol, right?
Right.
He's coming out to the ring, and it has him from like Columbus, Georgia, or whatever. The Idol, and then the announcers start talking, and then it goes, and now coming to the ring from Columbus, Georgia, the Idol, and it did this 15 times in a row, maybe 80. I don't know. It's like Dave Meltzer's star thing. It just starts throwing out more stars. Okay. You know how I figured out how to fix it?
How's that?
I had to copy another wrestler, an actual superstar. Mm-hmm. So I picked AJ Styles. I had to save his entrance over my entrance, and then edit the entrance that I created. That's AJ Styles' entrance now with my wrestler, and then make it the way I wanted to make it, and it fixed it. Why do I got to do that?
So you spent all the time with the original entrance. Had to save over it with another entrance and then edit that one.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Now, I have a feeling this bug is actually listed on their website, 2K's website.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a big bug. I have a feeling that they're actually going to fix this.
Okay.
Because this is a big bug.
Okay.
Yeah. But if I didn't go into Reddit and find some obscure advice on Reddit, I would have never figured this out.
Yeah.
So what do I got to go to like some random thing on Reddit?
Yeah.
To figure out how to do a workaround about your game that I paid over $100 to play.
Yep.
Okay. Becky Lynch looks like crap. She's terrible.
We're talking
about
the video game Becky Lynch, not the real life Becky Lynch.
No, I'm definitely not talking about the real life Becky Lynch. The real life Becky Lynch is very attractive.
Video game Becky Lynch is fucked up.
The Becky Lynch in 2K24 looks terrible. She looked terrible last year because she had that terrible haircut.
Yeah.
And the terrible makeup. Okay.
I've noticed that across like a lot of games. These game developers have a lot of work to do on hair. Hair looks like shit no matter what, unless it's like really short hair, like LA Knight or something. Hair looks awful.
Well, and I thought about that too. Like, you ever noticed that the models for like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg and The Rock look great?
Yeah.
But the ones for like Charlotte and Becky and all that are kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Part of it is the hair.
The hair. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And you got to think about what is 2K really known for making? NBA games.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of NBA players with long hair.
Right. Yeah.
So I think they're just so used to they can make really good short hair. They can make really good faces and outfits.
Yeah.
And people in the crowd, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they really suck at making hair. And getting the mechanics of it, the physics of the hair. They never get it right. It's gotten better over time.
Yeah.
It used to be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becky Lynch looks terrible in the game. I heard she looked terrible. So what did I do? I went in there and I looked at her and I was like, my God, this is awful. Casket matches should have been done when The Undertaker freaking wrestled.
Yeah.
Why are we getting casket matches now?
I might be wrong here, but Weren't casket matches in like older wrestling games? Like,
Well, I'm about to
old
get into
wrestling
that,
games?
too.
Okay, good.
I'm about to get into that too.
Good.
Okay. Next thing, super finisher. They enjoy taking old things and repackaging it as new content.
Oh yeah.
Gauntlet matches have been around in games before. Casket matches have been around in games before. I think ambulance matches might be new.
Yeah.
Super finishers been around. They just added more super finishers. That's not a new content. So they love repackaging old stuff as new content.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. Okay. This next one I wrote stuff locked under my faction. I should probably just put the whole my faction on there. Okay.
I'll tell you what pissed me off about my faction. When I first started the game, it sent me into that, and I couldn't fucking get out of it.
Yeah, you know
and
what?
I had to fucking click through all this shit that I didn't give a fuck about. Like, I just want to fucking wrestle, and I'm just like fucking clicking through these menus. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, what it is a pop-up came up, and you hit X.
Well, yeah, I know. I didn't realize what I did.
Yeah.
And but I couldn't get out of it.
And then it was training you to my faction.
Yeah.
And guess what? That ain't the last time that's going to happen.
Oh, fuck.
Because you're going to be trying to go to a menu, and this is going to be my faction. Actually, I think it does it at the beginning when you first load.
Yeah.
And so you have to wait a minute. Don't immediately jump onto anything. Give it a moment to load to my faction bullshit. And then exit out of that.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't hit X.
Yeah.
'Cause you're going in.
Yeah.
It tries so hard to get you going into my faction. Okay. I don't even get my faction. I tried to get into it because they locked some wrestlers under my faction that are playable in other modes. Used to, when they would, this is another thing too, they would release new content that they made, but only under my faction. That irritates the death out of me. And you know why they do it, right? Because my faction involves microtransactions.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You buy new packs of cards.
Oh, fuck.
To update your faction.
Oh, fuck that.
See, it would be this cool thing if they actually made like a faction builder thing.
Yep.
Like,
this is some shit where they know the kids will keep asking their parents for the credit card to buy more shit in the game.
yeah. Or the kids steal the credit card.
Yeah.
Or have it automatically linked to their account.
Yep.
And next thing you know, the parents wondering why they can't get the burger at McDonald's.
Right.
And they call their bank account and their kids use $200 worth of stuff. And you know, PlayStation, if you make any complaint about microtransactions, they shut your whole PlayStation account down.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. You make any complaints against the term. It's against the terms of service
To make a complaint.
Yeah,
Wow.
that your kid purchased stuff. You
Yeah.
know, they consider it a valid transaction.
Yep.
So you're screwed.
Yep.
So if you go through your bank and get it stopped, PlayStation will shut your whole account down.
Wow.
It's in their terms of service. They're serious about that. Microtransactions.
Obviously.
So this is where they get the money from. They try to do microtransactions on other things. But here's the thing. I bought the season pass. I should have every damn thing the game has to offer.
Yeah.
I bought the season pass. You make a new Sheamus from 2009, I shouldn't have to open up your stupid pack of cards to get them. I shouldn't have to open up a random pack of cards hoping that I can get Randy Orton from 2006 or something. I shouldn't have to open your card to get 2015 John Cena. That's bullcrap. Your My Faction crap is bullcrap. It's terrible. Only the desperate people that enjoy bad gaming like this stuff, and the kids that can steal their mom's credit card and buy $200 worth of purchasables and mom can't even get the bank to stop the payment because it's too late. That's what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, I got to write something else on here too. So, yes, I put stuff locked under my faction, but I hate the whole my faction thing. I will not give them one dime.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if they.
I do not engage in microtransactions, any freemium shit in any game. Any game.
If they told me that Ric Flair was going to come to my house and like hang out with me if I bought this pack of cards, I'd buy it then.
Okay.
But short of something like that, no, I will never buy your pack of cards. You can play the game and get content that way. I played it for a little bit just to see what it was like. You'd have to play for 2,000 years to get
Holy shit.
to buy a pack of cards.
Oh man, that's bad.
The world's over by then.
Yeah.
There you're going to be playing my faction, trying to get your next pack of cards.
Yep.
Trying to get that AJ Styles 2019 outfit.
Yep. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's terrible. My GM still needs work.
What is that?
Okay, it's once again, it's an old new feature.
Because I saw that and I'm like, it sounds like that should be a part of the universe mode. It
should be. They should combine it.
Okay.
So in my GM, you book matches and try to get the better ratings. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know for sure if it's still this way in 2K24, although I'm pretty sure they haven't changed it. The way they book it is like different classes of wrestlers fighting each other is what creates a good match, which makes no sense. No sense. I understand it a little bit. Having a high flyer fight against a giant wrestler would garner attention, but so would like having like Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero, two technical wrestlers.
Right.
I know Eddie Guerrero is somewhat of a high flyer too, but
yeah,
in my book, Eddie Guerrero is a technical wrestler. So you put the two together, they're gonna have a great match.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to put these opposite people. It's just I don't enjoy it. They should combine it with universe mode and let the star system that's in universe mode and all the matches dictate the success of the match and the ratings of the match. And that way you're actually playing the events. That's how they should do it. It should be an extra feature that you could turn on in universe mode or turn off, because universe mode is supposed to be a sandbox where you can do anything you want. And so if you wanted to have the GM mode with universe mode, it should be an extra feature. Okay, I know I'm asking for a lot here. Downloading created wrestlers, there's still lagginess. One time I had to exit out and go back in because of just lag of exiting out of a screen. I hate combos. Once again, this is not Mortal Kombat. You ever watched a wrestling match?
I have on occasion, yeah.
Do they just punch and kick each other constantly?
No, it's what it reminds me of is Killer Instinct, Ultra Combo.
Yeah. We shouldn't be having I don't mind them having combos, but it shouldn't be the fastest way to build up the signature meter.
Right.
Okay. It's a wrestling game.
Yeah.
The way to build up the signature meter should be doing grappling holds. And I know there's grappling combos, but you're still in this thing where you're supposed to punch and kick and stuff like that. And I don't want wrestlers who are mat wrestlers to be punching and kicking. It's stupid. Female wrestlers in Creator Wrestler, you cannot make them shorter than 5'4".
Really?
That makes no dang sense, because the average woman's height, I think, is 5'4".
Okay.
So
there you go.
you can either make them an average sized woman or a gigantus.
Yeah.
But you can't make there's several female wrestlers that are under 5'4", Alexa Bliss is one example, and Catanzaro, Katana Chance now, whatever you want to call her, that are definitely below 5'4". So if we're going to have wrestlers in the game that are under 5'4", and what it does is whenever people make created wrestlers that are shorter, they look like gigantic women. Mm-hmm. Okay, compared to like women that are actually their same size. So that's crap. It should be an easy fix. Online, they really need to fix it where somebody using the same move over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
For the whole match doesn't kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. Some kid found out in his garage or basement that or some neckbeard or whatever, that if I just spam this one move over and over again, I can beat everybody.
Right.
But you suck.
Yeah.
They should do it where, like, somehow or another, those people who do that kind of stuff somehow get put in matches together.
Yeah.
And the rest of us that want to have like a quality wrestling match where we're wrestling for, to put on a good show.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Can do that. That's it, Lance. That's all I've got. I think I've got heartburn and diarrhea.
Well, maybe you should have done it backwards because you were in a good mood when you finished the stuff you liked, and now you just want to kill everybody with the stuff you hate.
Maybe so. I should have done it the other way around.
Yep. All right. So if you're still listening after all that, we appreciate it. And go ahead and subscribe for us because we need the subscribers. Which, by the way, I'm going to mention this real quick. The Steve Austin WrestleMania video we did, Austin and Bret Hart, hurt our channel. I'll tell you why. First off, it's getting views and all that. It's gotten subscribers. But here's what happened. When I created the short for it, okay? So I pulled a 1 minute clip out of that video for a short, okay? I made the thumbnail Austin bleeding.
Oh, no.
And it set us as like adult content.
Oh, no.
So what I did was I went in and changed it, and it took it away, but the damage was done. And now our views and our subscribers have taken a big hit.
Damn.
So I mean, it's not awful, but
well, now we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that I made the thumbnail Austin bleeding on the short hurt our channel because we were going from we were getting like 2,500, 3,000 views on the shorts, and now we're at like between 500 and 1,000. Damn. So it's almost like, and it was worse than that before. We were getting like less than 100 at first. And it's like slowly letting us get more and more views. So it's like it kind of reset it in a way. Pissed me off. And here's the other thing. It did not do that to the main video because in the main video the thumbnail is Austin bleeding. But I think the difference is that I have other stuff in the thumbnail. So whatever system they have, I don't think detected it like it did in the thumbnail. Because in the thumbnail, it was just his face.
I could have told you that. You have to, any blood content has to be made in black and white on YouTube.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I should have done that.
Yeah.
So what, if you put anything red, it's going to...
Anything looks like blood. Can't have blood in a wrestling match.
Oh, man. That's another thing about the game. I saw that you have to turn on blood.
Yeah.
It's turned off by default. And so are the entrances. Entrances are turned off by default.
The game randomly will turn off entrances, by the way.
Really?
You got to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
At least it did in 2K23.
Yeah.
So
anyway, yeah, if you're still listening, we appreciate it. Subscribe.
Okay, we got adult wrestling content.
Triple X here on Ring Chronicles.
No, Triple X. None of that. Maybe some rated R, but no Triple X.
Oh man! All right, so yeah, we can't.
Peace.
Can't do blood. All right, later on, everybody.